Okay, thank you so much for this opportunity. My name is Dr. Shaikhah Alainati. Today I will talk about developing education with the 21st century skills. So first of all, I'm going to start with the introduction and the definition of what is the 21st century skills. And then I'm going to move on to importance and objectives of the 21st century skills, Kuwait's visions 2035, and economy, education and curriculum, implementation or proposed suggestive implementation framework that we can use to implement our 21st century skills. So first of all, 21st century skills is the knowledge, is a life skills, is functional skills, habits, traits that are critical for success for our students in today's world. It's not only skills that they need to obtain, but it's also skills that they can acquire to make them a better trainer, a better workers in the market. So in the 21st century skills, we have three main components. One of them is learning skills, literacy skills, life skills. And in here, learning skills is mainly learning skills are the skills used to process and communicate information, including participation and creativity, ability to think critically, and so on. And it's got, of course, the 4 C's, as mentioned earlier: critical thinking, communication, collaboration, and creativity. And literacy skills are skills needed to develop researchers in intellectuals and expertise and knowledge, including information literacy, media literacy, and technology literacy. And finally, life skills. Life skills are the skills needed for an individual to succeed in their personal and work life, including resilience, flexibility, initiation, social skills, productivity, and leadership. Again, this is just a rephrase of each one of the learning skills that have the 4 C's, as you can see, and then the literacy skills again, and the life skills. Now, I have to mention this. For a person or a student to have the 21st century skills, they need to have them and acquire them all together, or as much elements of them together. So they cannot take one by one, but usually they have to take several elements of learning skills and life skills and all of these elements in order to have the 21st century skills at the end. So we will go for the importance. Now, the Kuwait workforce with the 21st century skills is crucial for achieving national vision and diversification. We will talk later on about Kuwait vision and mission, and we will talk about specifically the pillars of Kuwait that specify in education and how can we incorporate 21st century skills in our educational system. So as a result, the educational institution, they have to develop their curriculum, they have to develop their goals with a view to providing graduates with the necessary preparation to keep abreast of the ongoing development and changes that have engulfed global and local communities. So the objective of this 21st century skills is to look at scientific evidence that shows how important these skills are for success in today's business world and how to get them through education and training. Now, the purpose is to implement a framework at the end of this presentation, and in order to get these 21st century skills to the maximum and to have them achieved through Kuwait Vision 2035. It is essential for the educators to foster critical thinking, encourage creative thinking, and improve students' ability to develop original concepts and innovation solutions and problems. Flipped classrooms is one of the methods that can be used by teachers as a way of teaching. So instead of the teacher giving the lecture, the idea behind full classrooms is teachers can empower students to stand up in front of the classroom and try to take that role and try to explain and talk to the audience or students. That will give them the confidence in their self-esteem, and it will give them more encouragement. It will give them the life skills that they need, for example, self-learning. So before the presentation, they need to be prepared and be more confident. So in our system, however, we don't encourage presentation skills much, especially in the governmental sector, but in the private sector, they do have this kind of skills embedded from the very early ages. So one of the large literature review done by Dr. Ahmed found that using technology improves the interaction between EFL teachers and students. It helps students to develop their thinking skills, makes the learning process more student-centered, and boosts students' independence, self-confidence, and motivation to learn. Another similar study was conducted. It looked at how much Thai high school English students through that smart devices would help them learn to be better learner and happier. According to the result of the survey, about 20% sensory learning skills. Most students agree that their phones help them learn and are more satisfied with using them. So, according to the recent employee survey, corporations are now anticipating that college should shift from the regular traditional way of teaching into a more applicable kind of teaching. So they want to switch theoretical parts more into, of course we cannot dismiss knowledge, but at the same time we have to be able to practically implement our knowledge and show our skills efficiently. Singapore guarantees that students acquire essential competency to thrive in competitive global economy by means of project-based evaluation, hands-on learning, and collaboration between academia and industry. Going to Kuwait Vision 2035, we have mainly 7 pillars. These pillars help Kuwait economy to be a financial and training hub. That's the main component of these 7 pillars. And within these 7 pillars, we have creative human capital and sustainable diversified economy. So looking at the human capital, we can see that strategies can directly contribute to achieving the goals of Kuwait Vision 2035 by fostering economic diversification, technological advancement, sustainable development, global competitiveness, and enhancing the quality of life through economic diversification, creative human capital, technological advancement, sustainable development, global competitiveness, and then quality of life as a result. Now, reforming the education system will help us to prepare Kuwait's younger generation to become a competitive and productive member of the national labor force. Sustainable diversified economy, develop a diversified and thriving economy to reduce the country's main dependence on oil. Of course, Kuwait depends mainly on oil, but with a knowledge economy, we can have another source of income for Kuwait. So knowledge economy refers to an economic system in which the production, distribution, and use of knowledge and information are the primary drivers of economic growth, as the focus shift from traditional industry that rely on material resources to those that benefit from intellectual capital and innovation. So the shift to a knowledge economy compels one to rethink educational role and equip oneself with the 21st century skills, competencies to increase productivity. So before even going to this slide, but one person was asking, how can we make knowledge as economy for Kuwait? And we are used to selling products and providing services for our economical growth, but with knowledge economy, it is more diversified and it's more challenging, to be honest. So, and I'll give a quick example in here. For example, one of the businesses, Uber, everybody knows Uber, right? So it is technology-based kind of businesses. It does use knowledge as a way of having income, and it is like a multi-millionaire kind of business right now. It's spreading all around the world with employees everywhere, but without even having a certain specification. They have, of course, their own rules, but yeah, Uber is one of the examples of knowledge economy and how to use this knowledge and bring monies out of it. So, since knowledge economy is about investing in knowledge, this requires the qualified human resources. In the sense, it requires qualified English teachers and how they can bring knowledge and productivity, adaptability to their to their students, and how can they acquire them, of course, before they give them back to their students, which in turn requires the development and redesign of curricula and teaching method. The development of knowledge economy is dependent on 4 main pillars. Mainly there are innovation, new technologies, human capital, enterprise dynamics. Okay, and then for the education and curriculum development, the current educational system, unfortunately, is based on memorization, intensive testing. So a teacher in that sense will come to class, try to teach their students what to learn, to pass their exams, unfortunately. And then when they pass their exams, tick, you're done, you are good and qualified. This does not meet the requirements in light of global competitiveness and digital transformation. So the current educational system attributes is like this. Teachers control the learning process. Instructions focused on memorization and instructions. Focuses on content rather than skills. Student assessment is based on tests and grades. Did they memorize it well? To what degree did they were able to memorize their lessons in order to take these exams? The initial relationship between education and knowledge economy is evident using information technology in education, which help to achieve educational goals well. This requires a human cadre to deal best with technologies. Now, we have several educational methods. As you can see here, we have 3 very well-known educational methods. One of them called mastery-based education, and competency-based education, and finally outcome-based education. In the mastery-based education, all students must demonstrate what they've learned before moving to the next grade level or graduation. They must demonstrate that they have mastered the skills and knowledge they were expected to learn, and then before, of course, moving to the next level. In the competency-based education, an educational approach that focuses on measuring a student's competency in a particular skills or field. Programs typically identify specific learning outcomes or competencies for each course or program and focus on ensuring that students have knowledge and skills to succeed. So in other words, they want to make sure that these students masters or know certain skills within these learnings. However, in the outcome-based education, students is the center of the educational process, emphasizing learning outcomes rather than content. So at the end of the day, or at the end of their graduation, usually they will have a test. This test will assess how much of skills they've gained. So it focuses on designing educational program that lead to desired outcome. This assessment is based on the existence to which the learning outcomes and skills required for the labor market are achieved. So the majority of educational institutions nowadays are focusing on outcome-based education because it is the bigger umbrella on what they are looking from educators. Developing curricula to produce a generation capable of development and knowledge-based economy, we have to use a framework in developing our curriculum. And as you can see here, we used Kuwait Vision 2035, and we looked at what Kuwait is looking for. And then we looked at what PAAET, well, I come from PAAET or your institution regardless, what are their vision, message, what are their objectives, not only within the bigger umbrella, but within each one of the colleges and then within each one of the departments. And what are the market needs? What are they looking for? What is our society? We're looking at also benchmarking, digital literacy that we need to have. What is the entrepreneurship skills that we have to have? What is our relationship? What is our knowledge economy? Altogether, it has to be taken into consideration, and then we need to build what is, or we need to think of what is the graduate attributes we need to have from our graduates, taking considerations all these elements mentioned before. And then we need to develop program learning objectives, program student learning outcomes, and then courses learning outcome. And this is where we have the course syllabus, competency-based sometimes kind of curriculum. This is what we are using in PAAET, where I come from. And then finally, we have a proposed implementation framework. So we mentioned earlier that in the 21st century skills, we have the 4 C's. On top of that, we have the digital literacy, problem solving, flexibility. And then we also have, achieving those skills, we need to have a project-based kind of learning. And sometimes we use internship. Sometimes it is graduation kind of course at the end of the graduation, at the end of their students' major sheets. We need internship, workshop and seminars, online courses, research projects, and so on. So with Kuwait Vision, which is having a diverse economy, technological advancement, sustainable development, global competitiveness, and quality of life, putting together the challenges that we are encounter, such as educational system limitation, faculty expertise, access to technology, industry collaboration, policy barriers, cultural and societal attributes, the students' readiness, all of that together. Now we develop this framework. This framework will adapt to many assumptions. Many may assume crucial and influential position in attaining the goal outlined in Kuwait Vision 2035. So, emphasizing the acquisition of the 21st century skills through practical industry-aligned education guarantees that graduates are fully prepared to lead technical development and make valuable contribution to the nation's economic diversification and sustainable development objectives. Once again, these are the, of course, the 4 C's of 21st century skills. And then methods. So, method to achieve the 21st century skills. We have project-based learning, industry collaboration, where any educational institute can collaborate with another educational institute and they can share their experiences and so on. Internship, where students at the end of their educational system can go to another work. I mean, they can go in real kind of work and test their knowledge and skills. Workshops, seminars, online courses, research objectives, and so on. So other teachings and learning strategies we have is active learning, effective learning, project-based learning, problem-based learning, full classroom learning, and then game-based learning. So with Kuwait Vision 2035, we have economic diversification that we have to take into consideration creativity, human capital, technological advancement, sustainable development, global competitiveness. So what are the challenges that we are facing in the 21st century skills? It is imperative to overcome the challenges and the obstacles. The following are an identification of some challenges. Education system limitation, unfortunately, faculty expertise and training. We need to give them more training in order to overcome these challenges. Access to technologies, and we need to have the infrastructures, the internet, and so on. Industry collaboration, policy and regulation, culture and societal attitudes, students' preparedness and motivation, and so on. So the role of teachers in building effective and sustainable education is teachers are the main pillar of education. They need to be trained, prepared in order to take their students into the next level and using the 21st century skills. So some argue that efficient teachers with poor curriculum is much better than a good curriculum but with poor faculty members. So in our recommendation, develop educational and training program and curriculum based on scientific thinking, creativity, and innovation. Identify the specific knowledge, skills, and abilities students are expected to demonstrate after graduation. Prepare teachers and equip them with the best way to help students achieve learning results. And develop evaluation method to comply with the requirements of educational output and evaluate the performance of students to achieve the required output. Support the learning process and learning activities in line with the goals required for education. Teaching strategies and evaluation method should be periodically evaluated and reviewed as needed to improve student learning. Before I finish, skills or degree? What do you think?
Skills.
Okay. Well, the market is looking for skills, but for us, I think we need both of them. Yeah. So we need to have the degree in order to have the knowledge. So without the knowledge, we cannot actually build our skills. Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, anyone?